how you can go through the tough times in your relationship. And today I have Mr. and Mrs. Maina, that is Petronila and Martin, here to share their story, their struggle that they had. And it's not just one, it was like multiple struggles in one that they were able to take care of. And of course, with the help of their family therapist, that is Grace Kariuki, they're here today to share that story. But as we get there, let's take a look at what you're saying on WhatsApp. The young man had the so-called conditioned reflex action. Having the fact that he was much into many and different ladies, this affected him psychologically, and it was amounting to flatten. So things can be dealt and taken care of. You meet a marriage expert. If you meet a marriage expert. Okay, thank you very much. I read somewhere that cheating to men is evolutionary. Men are born to cheat. Hiya. There is no man who doesn't admire beautiful women. They just lie in talks and on pulpits. How real is this? I am William from Nyabondo. Thank you, William. I'm Geoffrey. Cameraman wetu ama ni mwingine? Okay, I'm Geoffrey Kingsley. I'm Geoffrey Kingsley from Nairobi. Cheating made us to break up after fights and quarrels because it was unbelievable after 4 years dating, and with all expectations, everybody had to walk away. It was an experience that was hard for me to forget or to assume, since no one was ready to listen to another, so we had to walk away. Thanks so much for this topic. Thank you, Geoffrey. All right. As you guys keep on sending those text messages, we shall definitely read them. And of course, like I said, kuna namba ya simu hapo, piga simu tuongee. And I was just talking to Martin off air with the wife, and there's something that I just wanted to bring to light in regards to the conversation. When she caught you, you denied.
Yeah.
Were you in panic mode?
Yeah, I was like, she could have an idea of what is really happening.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't know that she was actually sharp enough to have known my password.
Yes, Simu.
So she had read everything and also known those women, even side chatting those women.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I came to realize later.
Ngoja kidogo. We, Mrs. Maina. Ulikuwa na side chat ama demu waambie nini?
No, I just wanted to be sure because I was still in denial. Yeah, if there is really something. Yes, nimeona, but I can't believe what I just saw.
So, mademu ulikuwa unawaambia nini? Were you telling them, stay away from my husband? Were you telling them, who are you? Like, what were you telling them?
They know who I am. Is into music, hata kama yuko aja boom, but ni msanii anajulikana.
Yes.
So they knew who I am to him. So
okay.
Anamuuliza, what is really happening between you and
Petronila?
Wengine wananiambia, ask your husband. Mwingine ananiambia, he looked for me, ask him. Mwingine ananiambia, akiniacha ndio nitamwacha. Yeah, so
okay.
Yeah,
so now you found out. What did you do? Did you leave? Did you stay to fight for your marriage? What happened?
I
what
stayed.
Happened?
I did not leave.
At even one point, hata ukienda home kwanza ufikiri. Unajua kuna madem kitu kifanyika kwanza anaishia. Aenda afikirie. Wewe ulikaa tu hapo.
Sijawahi toka. Ever. Nje ya hiyo mlango ever since I got into that house.
Why? Because he said he's not a violent man, so obviously he did not beat you.
He's not. Na unasikia sauti yake ni ya chini, so you get confused. Is he acting? What is happening? So I have a friend of mine, a lady friend.
Yes.
I called her, and her, she's ni moto. Ni ule ukimwambia ra kamenuka. Nayo. So I was shocked because she told me, we will talk about it, but you first need to get out of that house.
Okay.
Not that she wanted me to leave the marriage, but she thought, ananijua me, I have anger issues.
Okay.
So anajua I can do anything. Yeah, so she told me, you first need to get out of that marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like utoke, maybe uende tu uishi mahali pengine.
Niende nikae na yeye for a day or two, nitulie. Yeah.
And did you do that? No. You stayed?
Yes.
Martin, did it scare you that she has found out, but she's there?
Yeah, so lishanga, what is happening here? Because now she knows, but I was really, when nikifind out nilikuwa na I would really talk to block those I show her na block na nini unaona na namuonesha, so hiyo kipindi nakuwa so sweet to her and close to her, so hiyo ilikuwa ina make aone enyewe huyu mse ana change. Unaona, so
and were you changing ama ilikuwa ya kumfunga macho kwanza?
Nikamwambia, I used to tell her, you see, I used to be like this. Unaona, ni kama mtu anavuta fegi. Hawezi mwambia ache tu
overnight.
So I was nikamwambia, I'm really struggling with this, so to leave it is kind of hard for me. But if you look at the way I was before and now, I'm improving. So I would I used to communicate hope to her, and sometimes to do, I used to make some few sacrifices that were tangible, that you can actually see.
That this is actually someone who's improving.
I am doing something. I am doing something. I am concerned that she's so mad. She's not, whatever I'm doing, she's not sitting well with whatever I'm doing. So I really used even to beg, please don't go. Wacha tukae pamoja, nini vitu kama hizo. So and then she would stay.
Grace, a lot of reflexes, I mean the reflexes of a lot of women today would be to leave. Even if not permanently, but wacha tu nitoke kwa nyumba, sitaki kuona hiki kimutu, you know. What would you say about Petro's situation?
Now, obviously, after you get this kind of news, we go into preservation, self-preservation mode. And so we are going to look for a way to run away from the problem, because I'm trying to find some peace. And just looking at you, I cannot fathom it. I'm still in shock, I'm in numbness, I am in denial. Shock is the biggest thing. And then you go into anger now, bitterness, it begins to build. Now, what is happening right there, it's a lot of grief. So you start the grief process. And once you start the grief process, you really you go into the bargaining stage where you are saying, what if, you're trying to figure out, why did this happen? And so, even though you want to leave, no, you don't want to leave because you want to know. We niambie kwa nini, nipatie reason kwa nini ilifanyika. Give me a reason to stay. Give me a reason to leave. You see? So that confusion right there, you start off with that process of grief. And then for the person who cheated, because most of the times we don't think the person who is cheating, they are also going through something. There is number one, there is always the shock that I have been caught. And it's very funny, Martin, the way you said, I didn't think she is sharp enough to know, because con men always think that they are clever than everybody else. They don't, because that's the way, that's what feeds the denial that what you're doing is wrong and what you're doing is hurting someone else. And so you have to go through that. And I always tell women that once you find out that your husband has cheated, and also men, because most men leave. If they find out that their wives have cheated, their first instinct is to go. But either to go or to ask the lady to go. We know that.
We leave the relationship, yes.
And so everyone is feeling the same way. It is that fight or flight crisis response that we all do. The thing that I tell a lot of, if you come to me and they have already left, I tell them, don't change anything. Because there is a reason why you left. Because of self-preservation. If you are still in the home, don't leave. Let us go through a process of grief, both of you, because you are also grieving. Even you are also grieving the possibility of losing your wife. And the fact is, now the wife continues to struggle. Does he really love me? So why am I here? Why am I even fighting for this? And him, on the other hand, he's wondering, why are you questioning my love for you? Because you see, he chose her. Because
just because I slept with her doesn't mean.
He looked at her and said, this lady, she's a serious lady. She can be my companion for life. And now he has to go through the process of undoing this conditioning that the reflex somebody talked about.
Yes.
And so the person who said, Geoffrey, who said that they couldn't agree and so they went their separate ways, that tells you that they needed, before they went their separate ways, they needed to seek a marriage expert who would have helped them, because that is why people keep doing the thing I talked about last week. You get back together, you break up again. You get back together, you break up again. And you are, every time you break up over and over again, you are hurting the relationship. The relationship is becoming more and more wounded. And the longer you wait to fix things, men who are listening to us, and you are cheating on your wife, and your wife is insisting for you to go for counseling and you are refusing. If you want that marriage,
go for the counseling.
Go for the counseling earlier than later. Because because you have a problem. You have a problem of addiction. You are addicted to this thing, and you need help, and we are here to help. In counseling, we are not there to judge you. We are there to walk with you and to hold your hand and to understand where you are coming from.
All right. So Petronilla, when all this was happening, so how long did it take for you guys to come to a point whereby you even decided to go and see someone like Grace?
Martin, I did not know that Martin, this thing, as Grace has said, is also bothering him.
Yes.
So he went ahead and talked to our pastor, the one that preached on our wedding. He was the campus pastor in Mavuno Mashariki then. And he advised us, would you like to talk to a counselor? We were both okay with that. Then that is when now he referred us to Grace.
So was that like immediately after you discovered? Was it 2 days later, 2 months later, a year later?
No. I think a year.
A year later.
A year later. Yeah.
So for 1 year, huyu jamaa alikuwa ngatopa hivyo akijaribu kuingiza boxa kurudisha kwambia manzejo, hii story see that serious.
And pia I could see Jukion alifika mahali akakubali and he confessed, and I saw how sorry he was. Yeah.
Martin, did you see the need for a counselor? Who came up with the idea, apart from the pastor, when by the time he was saying you guys you might need to see a counselor?
You see, then I was an associate pastor in Mavuno, Mashariki. I was actually in charge of youth, and I could step on stage and preach, and also do a lot of counseling. Youth would come to me and share their struggle. So mi niko pale, naona hizi struggle, wana watch porn, wana masturbate, they are fornicating, and I'm just like them.
No difference.
Hiyo story haikunibamba, it broke me. Because mimi already I am also a slave to the very thing that
you're
these
preaching
people
against.
are struggling. So I said, for me to actually be a true man of God who can actually help them walk, I have to
overcome,
be vulnerable enough and also address my own issues. So through a certain forum we had with Pastor Milton Jumba, Mashariki campus pastor, he started saying that we'll have one-on-one. And through his program, a day came when we had one-on-one. It is when interrogating me and trying to ask what is your struggles and all that. Struggle with money, struggle with power, because you are a leader now. A youth leader, and you are doing well, because where I was leading the youth, they were growing and growing and growing.
Yeah.
So I told him, sex ndio shida. Sex ndio shida. So that is when I started my confession journey.
Okay.
So I told him, mimi ufanya hivi. He was shocked. Akaniambia, umedozi na msichana wa church? Nikamwambia hapana, nakuanga careful sana. So church, neighbor, workmate, I can't sleep with the church or my follower, but mi kwa nacheza mbali. So for me kunishika ilikuwa ngumu sana. So I did a confession, and he told me that you know, you are one body with your wife.
Yeah.
And you have cheated on her. So you really need to own up. And because you've wronged her, I know there are people who say it's not good to confess to your wife what the damage it will do. But for me, I believe the God who is the author of marriage and relationship, when you do the right thing, he has a way of really toning down and your partner and fighting for that marriage when you do the right thing.
Okay.
So, and then we decided to do it in a way that she will be ready to accept the information. Right? So it took time kutoka mwezi wa 5 2016 2017 kutoka mwezi wa 6 2016 I confessed around mwezi wa 2017 sijui mwezi wa ngapi. So I could prepare her.
So you were
topic. Mtu haikukwambia cheat on you, utafanya nini? So we would have that discussion with her friend and all that. So I would talk about cheating na mtu confess na nini. So psychologically
to gauge where she is in this conversation.
So nikisikia atahepa naona this is not the right time to actually do that.
But Anila, did you see that? Did you see those things that he's talking about? The preparing you for this big information.
I somehow, having found out that he was cheating, I somehow got curious. And again, I did not want to focus on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So eventually you guys decided to go for counseling.
Yes.
Before we get to that, let's just see what people are saying first of all on WhatsApp. Director cheza kama wewe hapo. My name is Paul. I am so happy to meet you here. In a relationship, I can say that true love was those days, but nowadays things are changing. Even mostly ladies are cheating than men. Nilikuwa na dame, but finally we dismissed after finding her with someone, and yet iliachwa mwezi moja tuoane. Oh, ilikuwa imebaki 1 month. Oh, yeah, pole sana Paul. Good morning. In matters relating to relationships, I feel betrayed and cheated. My woman, we are married 4 years now. She has been hiding her second name, names of her parents, and the kid she had before our marriage. All those things I had asked on early stages. I feel she has much more cheated on, despite she being good generally in treating me as a husband. Should I walk out of this marriage? Because I feel the trust deteriorated greatly. Jose from Thika. Thank you, Jose. Hi, last time I found out my partner was cheating, I asked her, this men wanakupea nini? Then I had to take a break for a little time so as kutuliza stress, nikakodisha nyumba, and now she's my wife with changed behavior. Good stuff, good stuff. I am Kate. I was cheated on in 2014, but I came to know about it in 2020 just because a child had been sired out there and there was no child support. So now the other woman came looking for me. Our marriage has never been the same because I can't find myself to love him like before. Pole sana. Hi K24, I'm really enjoying the topic. If a man is struggling with these addictions and their wife is not aware, is it advisable for this man to go to counseling alone without involving their partner? Good question.
Good question.
Thank you very much for that one. Keep sending them, of course. As we are about to exit, we'll probably read a couple of more. Grace, kuna kitu imeulizwa hapo. The one for addiction. Should I go see a counselor chini ya maji before niambie bibi yangu?
Yes and yes and yes. Because you need, in fact, that person who has a problem with an addiction to sex, and let me say this, you cheat because of 3 things.
Okay.
Number 1, you are the spouse who is bitter and you are unable to talk to your wife or to your husband. So you triangulate as a person from outside to take away your stress.
Okay.
And you are bitter. So this person, if you are a mpango wa kando and you are listening to us, and the man who is keeping you and talking to you keeps telling you how horrible the wife is, he's looking for a stress relief.
Okay.
So don't bank on that. This person is not that they have left their marriage, they are actually looking for what? Solace somewhere else. So there is that one. That person usually has an affair, a real affair, a relationship with one person.
Okay.
Number 2, you have the person who is like now Martin. You have been socialized, conditioned to have sex. So this person has women, they watch pornography, they masturbate, they do the whole shebang. That is another person. And then the third person is the person who has never grown up from being that adolescent. They are always chasing someone. So akimaliza huyu, wakimalizana akona mwingine na huyo akuangi na affairs, anaendanga alafu anarudia lakini they are always looking for someone else.
Okay.
So that person who asks, should you go for counseling alone? Yes, figure out which one of these three you are.
Okay.
And deal with it. Because if you don't deal with the root problem, even if you get back into the marriage, it will keep recurring. And that is why I usually tell women who find themselves in that situation, and lately we have more men coming out because their wives are also cheating.
Yeah.
I tell them that one of the things, you have the card in your hand now, I am not coming back until we find help.
Okay.
And I will say this to women who have men who are not willing to go to counseling. It's okay, you can go with him because you need to, because this is your marriage too.
Yes.
So fight for it. If you're not, don't leave and then come back. You are coming back to what? You
To
see?
more problems.
Yes.
Aya, na yule amesema 2014 is when this person got a child,
Yeah.
and she got to find out about it in
Right.
2020 because apparently this gentleman has not been paying
Yes.
child support on the other side.
Absolutely, and that happens all the time. You know, those are some of the older marriages. The reason why they are coming, the cheating happened, and there was a child, and now the baby mama is showing up. And so what you want to do in that case for that lady, she needs to understand she's going through several levels of grief. So she needs to go for counseling for herself so that she can work on and figure out how to move on in this marriage. Don't stay in a marriage and be bitter.
Yes.
Get help. Because there is help. Because when you stay in a marriage and you are bitter, your children are going to be the ones who are going to carry that. And you know why we stay in these abusive marriages, or they are abusive, toxic marriages, is because we say, I don't want my children to do what?
To suffer.
To suffer. And so even you as the person who has cheated, you need to go get help so that your children do not. What is this thing we call generational curses? Right? When you look back to the fourth generation, it's behaviors that have been passed on. In marriage counseling, family counseling, we call it intergenerational transmission. And we need to do what we call differentiation, where you emotionally disconnect from your dysfunction, from your family of origin.
Okay.
How do you disconnect that? By looking into how the things you experienced at home have changed you and have conditioned you so that you can break away from that and start acting differently.
Right.
And Martin said something very important. He said that you have to do the right thing for things to change.
Okay.
Yeah.
Martin, you had to do the right thing in terms of, speaking to your superior pastors and, getting that help. And then now, of course, involving your wife in the problems that you were facing. Would you say that it has helped a great deal? Are we done? Have you overcome your demons, or is it an ongoing process?
Let me say it is an ongoing process. I'm not saying that niko 100%. To be 100% sure, honest, because I don't like lying.
Yeah.
So it's still an ongoing process. But one of the things that really helped me is to see how she's really grieving and suffering. And all this is happening because of what I'm doing.
All right.
Right? And then she's making sacrifices. She's staying with me just the way I am. Then also seeing how this thing is really affecting me. As much as I'm doing it because of selfishness. And this one has been contributed by the things I've done over the years and the kind of friends I've allowed in my life. So it was really hard for me. So I had to choose.
Okay.
I had to choose either I leave what I'm doing that is causing a lot of pain to her, or I stay with this and let her go.
Okay.
Because even one of the pastor told me, if you will not stop, please let her go. She's actually suffering. So I chose to start the journey of healing.
Okay.
And that is when I sought for help.
Okay.
That is when I was guided, and then we were sent to her. And then I started that journey of tracing the real issue where it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Petronila, as we close up, I'll let you have the final word on this one. What would you tell other women who are probably watching right now, like huyo mwenye alifind out bwanake ako na watoto wengi ama mtoto mwingine huko nje, na wengine wengi wenye I am sure are watching and they've not texted. What would you tell that woman who just found out they're in a similar or even worse situation?
Wow. I wouldn't tell someone to stay or leave. So if you are out there, I think you should focus more on your peace. And by so doing, you seek God for wisdom and guidance.
Right.
Yeah, and the right people. Surround yourself also with the positive voices. There are people that want your marriage to work, people that have best interest at heart for your marriage.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. Grace, I see you coming here again on Thursday. Because today at least we've had them as a case study, but of course conversations are still going on. Thank you very much, of course, back at home for tuning in and for your very many questions. Unfortunately, we couldn't answer most of them. However, next Thursday, we'll try as much as possible to see how much of your questions we can be able to put in a bottle and shake them out. I'll see you. It's been absolutely amazing having you. In case you would like to get in touch with these individuals here today in our panel, you can let me know and I'll definitely put you in touch. You can also reach us via our social media pages and let us know what you think and how indeed you can be assisted, especially if you would like to talk to someone like Grace Kariuki or all the other counselors that we've had on the show. We'll be glad to assist you in your journey towards a better life. Until that time, it's been real. Don't go too far because starting right now, though, we'll be joining the CJ search that is currently happening as far as the GSC is concerned. Until that time, tomorrow, Friday, bright and early, see you.